Today is World Pharmacists Day. Can we celebrate? One of the wonders of the world is the mono-directional picture that people have about pharmacists. Pharmacists are heroes. Pharmacists are lifesavers. There is a lot to know about pharmacists, and that's why I'm going to give you 4 major misconceptions about pharmacists. Hi guys, my name is Paula Ekene. Let's go guys. So one might want to ask, why am I doing this? This is a mental health focused channel. Yes, when we had members of the Youth Service Corps exiting camp and it was becoming important to relay the message on the things to avoid to prevent post NYSC depression, I made that video and I promised to allot my video space for the sets of people who need it. And today I am devoting this space to my profession, my very first profession, pharmacy. So yes, that's why I'm making this video. I want to tell you misconceptions that are preventing you from having the best of your pharmacist. I am going to tell you right away. Celebrate your pharmacists, because pharmacists are people who go out of their way to make sure that you have safe, efficacious, and potent drugs. I don't know if you know what can possibly go wrong when you don't take the right drugs, the right dose, in the right time, and all of that. They tell you about the side effects, the drug interactions, drug-drug interactions, the drug-food interactions, and many more. Pharmacists are in charge of the production of your drugs. They are the ones who ensure that all processes are followed, that the quality assurance and the quality control tests are done. They are honest enough to interpret the results rightly. They are the ones who do. Pharmacists are angels in human form. So to the first misconception, some people think that pharmacists are people who study pharmacy because they couldn't get to other courses. Yes, it might sound strange to some people listening right now, but there are people who think that if you're a pharmacist, then you probably wanted to study other courses. I remember my time. I'll probably have to give examples with myself in all of the misconceptions so that it doesn't sound vague or it doesn't seem like it's being made up. Yes. So I know that at a point when I wanted to study pharmacy, the reason I wanted to study pharmacy was I was curious about why drugs were so magical. I had diarrhea as a child. I was already aware of myself, my surroundings, and all of that, but I was still a child. I think I was 12 or so. And I had this diarrhea, and then 2 pills just took it away. And I was worried. How did it happen? You keep saying take drugs, take drugs. Why should I take drugs in order to end this? Why does it not want to go away by itself? And so I wanted to know why drugs were. So it was curiosity from childhood. And as soon as I was to choose my course of study, I said it was going to be pharmacy. And so at a point, people started saying, you're going to waste your brain. Whatever that means, you're going to waste your brain. You shouldn't do this. You'll waste your brain. It's for people who don't have other choices. And I was like what? No. I don't. Maybe when I'm done with it, I can go study other courses, but I don't understand what you mean by wasting your brain. And they said, yeah, you're too intelligent, you want to study pharmacy. And I was like, okay, so maybe when I'm done with it, I will go and study the course that my intelligence probably matches. And it's, there's this gaze at pharmacists as second class set of professionals. I am here to tell you that many pharmacists actually wanted and insisted that it's pharmacists they want to study. These days, it's not even getting into pharmacy school in my time was funny. Like the post UME and all of that, the cutoff was. So I don't think that anyone should keep thinking. The pharmacists are people who studied pharmacy because they couldn't get to other courses. It's not an easy course to study. No, 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 no. Don't think those thoughts anymore. Erase them. There may be a few who maybe wanted something else and they were like, okay, let me settle for pharmacy. But I tell you that if you're not strong enough or bright enough and you get into pharmacy, especially in the school where I studied in, you're not gonna make it through. You're gonna drop on the way, I promise you. Yes. It's not a course you just study passively. It's something that you devote your mind, your soul, and all of that. And so to go through all those sacrifices and someone comes out and thinks, that was not what you wanted. You wanted it because it was safe. It was a low-hanging fruit for you. No, pharmacy does not come easy at all. I love how this third umbrella sits like a fascinator on my head. Just that I can. Okay, so to the second misconception, many people think that pharmacists know nothing except chemistry. So yeah, why would you know anything apart from chemistry when you're a chemist? Yes, I don't blame people like that. I mean, yeah, it's a possibility that you're called a chemist because you just know chemistry. And the people who I know that study chemistry in school don't just know chemistry. I mean, they know a lot of things. They know botany, they know microbiology. You get to study a lot of you don't the university prepares you to be a rounded person in character, in learning and all of that. So yes, pharmacists are not just people who study chemistry. No, pharmacists study law and ethics, they study botany, they study anatomy, physiology, maths, zoology, psychology, toxicology, pharmacology, pharmacognosy, pharmaceutics, dispensing, general studies, applied science, communication studies, pathophysiology related courses, and many more. I don't have them off the top of my head, but it is really funny. I was in a place, I won't forget this incident, and they were having chats about the about the cardinal signs of inflammation, and the person was like, okay, when you talk about inflammation, the five cardinal signs, the rubel, and I was like, yeah, rubel, color, tumor, dolio, function, let's say. And they turned and they looked and they said, if you're a pharmacist, how do you know all of this? I said, yeah, it's taught in pharmacy school. Yeah, they teach you all of that in pharmacy school. Like, you leave your curriculum and you study other people's curriculum. And I was like, yeah, I think it's very helpful in pharmacy curriculum. As a pharmacist, you should know that because you should know why your drugs work, how they should work, and all of that. So, I mean, it's not out of place for you to know IPPA or know cardinal signs of inflammation. I mean, it's elementary. It was taught at the lower, early years. So it's not something you shouldn't know. A pharmacist knows beyond what we are utilizing them for. I think you should utilize your pharmacists more because your pharmacist actually knows so much. So the third misconception is some people think that pharmacists are just people who count drugs. Yes, that they just count drugs on the tray and makes that sound, that counting sound, and they count it and they give to you and they bid you farewell. Such funny picture. Yeah, pharmacists count drugs. I mean, they have the capacity to count drugs. And they have the capacity in some climes to prescribe drugs. They have the capacity to dispense drugs. But then the pharmacist also checks your drugs and makes sure that it is compatible with your system. They work with your prescriber to ensure that those drugs are good for you, that they're not altering any organ, that they're not going to damage your kidneys. They ensure that they're not expired. They ensure that there's no interaction and you don't have any contraindication. For instance, there are drugs that can change your urine, such as rifampicin and all of that. The pharmacist tells you when you take these drugs, you're going to have something that seems like a blood in your urine, or your urine might turn red and all of that. So please don't fret, don't be afraid. Do you know the extent that can help you? Imagine not knowing all of those information. The pharmacist tells you how drugs can interact with your food that inactivates the drugs and prevents it from being efficacious or from achieving the purpose for which you're taking them. For instance, grapefruit juice and some certain anti-malaria don't go hand in hand. Milk and some certain antifungals will just allow you to, excrete it, and it's not going to work.